talk about a really cool book that Mr. Blue Jeans gifted me about regrowing vegetables. I knew I could resprout celery and green onions, but there are many more things that can be regrown from scraps we usually compost. I figure, why not play around with this little book and see if it's worth doing here on the farm and to really see if it works. I mean, what a great way for folks that don't have a lot of planting room to reuse and get more out of their vegetables. Today, we're starting with romaine lettuce. Yeah, we ate some of it already. This is a popular lettuce in our house because we all love a good Caesar salad. This book also says that it's a reliable grower, so it'd be nice to start this adventure on a win. Let me tell you a little about romaine. Romaine's a lettuce and a great, of course it's a lettuce, it's a common lettuce and a great grower in our garden last year. That might be because it's heat tolerant. We grew a red variety of romaine last year. Here's something we do on the farm that you may not be familiar with. We cook or wilt our lettuce for a side dish. It's a recipe my great-grandmother brought over here from France, and we still make it to this day and really enjoy it. Just garlic, celery, olive oil, red pepper flakes, salt and pepper, toss it in the pan over a medium-low heat, put a cover on it. Yum, it's delicious. I'll make the recipe and post it this year sometime. All right, let's get back to our experiment. You'll need about 2 inches of the romaine stem. Don't cut it any shorter when you are making that salad. Place it in a jar with water so it only comes up to half the stem. I like to use mason jars for that kind of thing, but use what you have. See, with the mason jar, you can see where you're filling your water. I also like to use filtered water. I don't know that the municipal water may not have bleach or other things in it that I think would probably inhibit the ability for this to grow. So there you have it. Here's another type. You can certainly see how far up the water goes, even though you can't see through it. You can see, or even something plastic would work for you or me or anybody else. So now what you want to do is place it in a sunlit area of your home. Change the water every couple of days. Let it stay in the sunlit area that you put it for 5 to 10 days. Keep your eyes out for roots growing from the bottom of the stem and shoots coming out of the top. When you see this, it's time to plant your romaine in some soil. The stem goes in the soil, but be sure that the new leaves that are shooting out of the top aren't covered in soil. You want that to stick up. It's going to start producing leaves for you. They're going to get bigger and bigger until you decide that it's ready to take and use at your next meal. I harvest the leaves we needed for our meal from the red romaine we grew last year by just taking what I needed, not cutting out the whole plant. So I'll probably do the same with this experiment and just harvest the leaves as we need them instead of cutting the whole thing down. I'm curious to see how this works or if it works. I'll check back later this year and create a video to let you know if our romaine experiment was a win or a fail. I think this is going to be fun and certainly hopeful for a success. I'll post the link below for the book that Mr. Blue Jeans gave me. Thank you so much for watching, and please remember to hit that like button and subscribe. This is Nikki D. I'll talk to you soon. Well, it's been 7 days since I first put our romaine cuts in water, and they started looking obviously like any romaine that you would chop the leaves off of. You leave about the 2 inches as we had said, put them in water, and they look like this, right? Well, 7 days later, look, it's a baby. So I just wanted to show you the process. We'll come back again when they're a little bit bigger and we're ready to put them in some soil. But I thought it was kind of exciting. Here's one in process. It's just got a couple of shoots right here, little tiny shoots. But this one's going really well too. I'm noticing some little discoloration down here, but I don't care about that because I'm going to get another round of romaine, and I'm curious to see how many rounds of romaine we're going to be getting out of this. So stay tuned. The romaine experiment continues. Here we are at day 10, and I'm shocked at how amazing these romaine are coming back to life. It's quite incredible. So it's at this point that you'll want to go ahead and put them in some soil to have them continue on. Well, if you had watched the video I did about thinking out of the box and using things you have around your home to make containers to put your seeds to start, or other things like when you do regrowing, you'll remember that I have a few things here that you could use to put your romaine in. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and grab a couple here. Let's get them potted up. My thought is I'll have some obviously in a sunny place, probably maybe 2 in Gigi's laundry room. But I'm also thinking, because the kale is still doing well out in the garden, even though we are in the middle of winter. I've been covering and uncovering. So I thought I'd do a test and throw a couple of these in the garden bed and see what happens with them. They could very well not make it, or maybe they'll thrive. I don't know, but I want to give it a try. But I do know I'm going to cover them or put them in one of the beds that already has a plastic covering. And Mr. Blue Jeans and I have been going out and removing the plastic when it's a warmer day so the plants can get a little bit of unfiltered sunshine, so to speak. So let's go ahead and fill these. You'll remember the chicken styrofoam trays that I had mentioned. If you've got styrofoam trays like this, it's a great way to catch the water so it doesn't get on anything. We start our plants inside. We don't have a greenhouse yet, and I have a shelving unit that I start the plants on, and I don't want the water to go all over the place. So this is just a little bit of topsoil from our farm. We have good topsoil, we have clay, and it's hit and miss. It's sort of all over the place. I can't figure it out, but we did have some excavation done where the gentleman pushed all of the topsoil that was nice into a mound for us. And while I hate mounds, I don't like mounds, I want them gone. I just don't like to see big lumps that grow weeds. This particular one I'm not complaining about because it's given us some decent topsoil. So I'm mixing that with some of our homemade compost that we've got. And it's funny how you can see the difference. Let me see if I can get this on camera so you can see the difference between the topsoil that we have here. It's not a bad color, but look at that compost. Look how nice and rich and much darker it is. So if you're not composting, get to it. All right, so I'll put a little more compost in here and go ahead and pop one of these romaines in, and we'll check back again and see how these are doing. I find this quite fascinating that this really works. It's something to me. Now I'm just sort of pressed it in a little bit and calling it good. Because, you know, I found that the garden last year, my best tactic was leave it. Or even in some cases, forget about it, because I had forgotten about some oregano that I planted, and it's monster plant. It is still going strong, and I've done nothing about it. And I forgot green onions. I'll put the link to the green onions. Completely forgot they were there. We got huge green onions. So it appears if I leave it alone, that makes my success instead of fussing and helicoptering the garden. So there we go. We're replanting these now, and the next update will be how they're doing in the laundry room in the sun in a can, and how they're doing out in the garden. Did they make it? I don't know. Stay tuned and we'll find out.